Hello world, it's a skunky, and today is Thursday, January 28th, and today's theme music is How by the Gaslight Anthem. I first heard this song on the soundtrack for the movie 21 and Over. Very surprisingly good soundtrack and surprisingly decent movie. It is totally not the type of movie I usually go for, but I saw the preview and for some reason I was drawn to watch it. I had to see this movie. Don't see myself watching a bunch of other college drunk movies. But this was fairly decent and the song is really good. The only thing bad about it, in my opinion, it's short. It's about 2 minutes. So you've already heard a good percentage of it in the beginning there. I've got a couple of links to talk about today. Um, the first one is okay. It seems like anything becomes a competition, and apparently even those wind tunnel things now have become competition. And by wind tunnel, I'm talking about you go into a little tube and there's air at the bottom and pushes you up and you can fly without actually jumping out of an airplane. And you got a consistent up in the air as opposed to, parachuting where it's an immediate fall. So apparently now there's this thing called the Windgames. Windgames 2016. Apparently there was a one, I think it's the third year, and this is the first I've heard of it. But it's sponsored by this place called Windor, which is one of these go-to air tunnel places in Spain. And it's interesting. They've got like single, doubles, female freestyle, things like that. And the video I ran across was of one competitor named Maja, and I'm going to murder this name. I'll just say it ahead of time. Kuczyńska, Kuczynska. Okay, if you're from, I think it's Polish. So I apologize to the country of Poland. I am horrible with pronunciation. Anyway, she does this great routine to see a chandelier, which is oddly appropriate since, you're floating in air. And it's just really kind of cool. It actually reminds me of a book I read called Stardance by Spider Robinson and Jean Robinson, as husband and wife. And where they are basically dancers in zero G. This is not zero G. It gives you a feeling, I guess, because you're being pushed up by the air. It's pretty interesting. I look forward to seeing it becoming more fluid. It's fairly fluid, but there is a very much a stiffness to it, and you really want, at least I do, I want to see them dance like ballet dance or modern dance. It's very right now. It's kind of stiff, and that may be the wind currents. It may not be something that can be done anything about, but I look forward to seeing more of it, and I included the video link down below so you can see. Let me know what you think about it. I think it's interesting, but then I kind of like all kind of dance. So, it's a new form. I'm willing to watch it. I'm willing to give it a chance. Um, and maybe there will be more competitions. Maybe there'll be something that's in this side of the pond, so to speak, that I can actually go see. Although it's really weird, the crowd staging around it, but I don't think this facility was designed for an audience. So I'm guessing, yeah, I mean, I just really wonder how it would work out in like Madison Square Gardens or something like that. They have this gigantic tube in the middle. Do they have, big screen TVs or whatever? It would be interesting. It can't, it, could be worse than football. Yes, I know I'm being sacrilegious. I got about 5 minutes span of watching football before I need to do something else. I can watch the highlight film, but sitting there through a whole game, there is no way. And I know Super Bowl is either this week or next week. It's around the corner somewhere, and everybody and their cousin will be watching it, except me. I will watch the commercials and the halftime show via YouTube or some other streaming service because I just don't have the patience. The next thing that we have to talk about is I'm a fan of vintage things. I love old things, and by old things I mean not history of the world old. So we're not talking centuries back. We're talking 30s, 40s, 50s, things like that. I watch a lot of old TV. I listen to a lot of old time radio, and I ran across this video on the Glamour Days YouTube channel. Of course, there'll be a link below. Um, that was showing fashions from 1955. There was like a video stream or something. It's narrated by Ed Hurley, who voice shows up a lot in radio and television, and he's focusing on the designs of designer Charles Gillette. Now, I know nothing about fashion design as far as designers, except the big names that are now. I know Gucci, I know uh, apparently not a lot because I can't think of anything else. But you get the picture. I mean, I can't look Vera Wang stuff like that. I can look at a dress and I have no clue who it designs. I'm not that into it, but I like watching things like this. And it's a design of party dresses. And unfortunately, I mean, yeah, it's a time period, so it's in black and white, so you can't see the colors they describe. I want to see the actual colors of it, but this is a black and white film, so we just get to see the design. But what I find interesting is that the matching coats. Today if you wear a nice dress, about 9 times out of 10 you don't have a coat. You have this dinky jacket that you're hoping that from the car to the end place that you don't get splashed, dirt, anything on it. There's nothing covering most of the dress nowadays. These come with a matching coat. Not only is it a coat that covers the dress, because these are full length dresses, and the coat in most cases is full length as well. But it also matches in design. I mean, there's one that is a black and I think it's satin or lace back bottom, and the the pattern that's on the back of the dress is matched in the bottom hem of the coat. So it doesn't ruin your outfit. I mean, I'm pretty much a hoodie girl, so if I wear anything nice, it's completely ruined by the black knit hoodie over top of it, or maybe on a rare occasion I'll have a sweater. But I guess to me the 50s is a little more glamour. Now, I know these probably are not being worn by average day people. These are probably, upscale dresses, so I'll give you that. But you look at the Hollywood red carpets, things like that, you never see anyone in a coat. I mean, yeah, it's all in LA, but you're telling me that there is not one red carpet that is done during a cold time of year? So what do? Sprint out of the car in your short sleeve, your dress, and into the place and hope you don't freeze in that time period? You know, I just think it's something that could be brought back. I think a decent coat that is fashionable can be brought back. So, it doesn't necessarily have to match the dress or the outfit, but something where you look glamorous from the time you step out of the car till you get in the place and hand your coat over to the hat check person. Just my opinion, but check out the video anyway. It's very interesting. The fashions are very nice, and I think a lot of them can be worn today. Still, maybe not as long, maybe not as tight. It's also very interesting some of the materials they mix together. I mean, there's a evening dress that involves the word flannel. Yeah, it's the material, not the pattern. It's not lumberjack material flannel, but it's just very interesting. Like I said, I would really love to be able to see these dresses up close, and in that particular case, feel it and see how that flannel and satin and whatever works together, because that kind of sounds a little crazy. I don't know about you. But lastly, a little humor for our last video of the day I'm going to talk about. And if you grew up through the 80s, you're probably very familiar with Paul Masson wine, and particularly the iconic line, um, there's no wine before it's time. And a lot of the commercials were done by their spokesperson, Orson Welles, who at this point in 1980 has had a huge career. I mean, yeah, I don't have to tell you about Orson Welles, right? Right? Because if I do, You're probably younger than me. That's probably the first thing. There's more to Orson Welles besides War of the Worlds and Rosebud. Well, Citizen Kane, but you know what I mean. The comic line. I particularly liked him in the Black Museum, which was a radio program that he hosted, which is basically about British murders and other crimes, and there's a museum dedicated to the weaponry used in it. And he does this great little hosting thing to it. This is Orson Welles calling from London, and he had such a great voice. So of course he still had to do it in his career doing commercials, voiceovers, if nothing else. However, um, what's interesting about this particular link is that it's not the commercial itself; it's the outtakes of the commercial. And apparently, Orson Welles was a great fan of Paul Masson wine. Apparently, he wasn't just taking a sip during these various takes, because by the time we get to the point that this particular clip is shown, he is obviously drunk. I mean, he is snickered to the gills, and it shows. And he's still trying to remain professional, but it's very, very obvious he is drunk. Um, and it's even funnier because the contrast of the people around them, because they're not drinking. I mean, they're supposed to be people at a party, but they don't get to drink on camera. He does. And they are so proper and stiff, and he is so drunk. I mean, not to speak ill of that, but obviously he was imbibing quite a bit. Um, I'm thinking you're supposed to just bring it to your lips and then cut, but from what I've heard, he drained the glass each time. So it kind of reminds me a little bit of the videos I do. As I said in my first video, I'm part of a team that does the show Nothing to Say, and we also do cocktail videos. And we usually, when we film our videos, we film them about anywhere between 1 and 6 videos at a time. And my co-host partner, Charlie, is a very adamant thing about if we make a drink, we finish the drink. None of this drink, making a drink on camera and pulling it down the drain, wasting alcohol. So by the third or fourth video, depending on what we're making, I'm starting to resemble Orson Welles. So I completely can understand, but it's something you don't expect from grapes, I guess. I know me and my low tolerance and amateurist ways. Yeah, I'm going to be a little tipsy by the end of the second or third shot, but to see someone, this great actor who is obviously way over the limit, it's kind of interesting. And still how he tries to maintain a professionalism. Although, going back, looking at the old commercials now, you can tell he's a little happy. In them. You didn't think about it for a time. You thought of Bill Stern thing. I think there's kind of different kind of drunks, There's the laughing drunk, the maudlin drunk, the stiff upper lip drunk, I always kind of think of it as the old military man who is like pretty much drinking you under the table but maintaining that military stance, the uprightness, and when he gets to bed, he's gonna pass out, but he's not gonna pass out in front of you. That kind of thing. That's kind of where I think Orson Welles is in these things. He's properly drunk, but he is not gonna pass out. He's not gonna waver until he gets home. He's gonna maintain his dignity. And so I don't think it's like a real dig against Orson Welles to watch these and kind of chuckle a little bit. I think he did pretty good for as much as his eyes are any indication. He has had to drink. But be sure to check out all the videos in the links if you like them. If you like it, and if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and please be sure to subscribe. And like I said, I'm just starting out now, and I hope to get better as I learn more about the software, learn more about videos, and just exploring more of what's out there to see and share, and we can talk. So until next time, hello world, this is Skunky, and let's make it a great day, why don't we, okay? Bye now.